Hey guys, welcome to Blogger United. Welcome to another video, and it's time to talk about Gerard Pique, about Barcelona's imminent problem with what has happened the last couple of days, and basically discussing the topic about, things are just not right at the club, and another piece of evidence of why things are not working accordingly on how the club used to be run and how it's running currently at the moment. And you're gonna be seeing an image right now of Antoine Griezmann and about a situation that I don't remember if I said in the match review, but basically Suarez is through and has an opportunity to pass the ball to Griezmann very easily. It's one of the most easiest passes that he can make, and we know Suarez has a lot of technique. Like, there's no way that he didn't see Griezmann, but he also knows Messi arriving from behind, he's in a hat trick, and that's all fine, right? In retrospective, yes, we win game 5-1. It's about the 90th minute. The game's still undone. Messi can go on a hat trick and maybe boost his stats to make it difficult for people to not include him in that Ballon d'Or for the winner. But it doesn't change the point that we know that if that was Neymar right there instead of Griezmann, there would have been no doubt on Suarez. It would have been the same to square to Messi than to square to Neymar. And the reality is, it's not the execution. It wouldn't have been okay if Messi would have scored if he would have scored that goal. The thing that's not okay is just the treatment of your teammates, and for me that is, well, it's the players not, it's like people taking sides and having a dressing room that's not all together, and that's a problem, because right now it might not be that much of a problem because at the end of the day we have much more quality than most other teams that we face. But when we get on the ladder through stage of especially in the Champions League, we're facing teams of our same quality, the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, Juventus, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, all these kind of teams that have players of a similar quality to us. If we're not all together and we are not all convinced that we can all go ahead and win as one, then we are gonna have problems, and it was seen during this game. Hell, that game against Slavia Prague, if Messi scores a chance to Dembele instead of doing what he did, and then both through and goal, he scores that goal, we relieve so much more pressure. But instead, he decides not to do that, because we know that if Dembele and Griezmann start performing at a high level and start scoring a lot of goals, they're gonna be supported a lot by us, the fans, and by the media, and Valverde's gonna be very up for it to bench Suarez. And because we don't want Suarez to be a bench, then we don't do this kind of things. We play our own game, we play between each other, but we try Griezmann and Dembele to have the less impact possible, because we, other than bringing Neymar, we also want to keep playing every single minute of every single game. And if we have that mentality, I'm telling you now, we're not winning. We're gonna have it tough to win trophies at the end of the season. But at the Champions League, where basically every chance that you have and that you can generate, you need to put it in, otherwise you're out. Especially if you're Barcelona, then I can tell you now, we're not winning the Champions League. And it's not winning it because we don't have the players for it, because we obviously do. We're winning because our mentality and this winning project. And I'm going to keep bringing up the thing about the winning project. And he's not only talking to Messi now, he's talking about every other player that says that it's their fault when they lose, but they keep doing these kind of things that are not making the team any better. All the same thing Gerard Pique on Wednesday was saying to Cadena SER. He was there discussing the topic, and he was asked about the topic of Neymar. He basically discussed this next following quote: "What we suggested to the Barcelona president, Jose Maria Bartomeu, was that if he had to alter our contracts, we would. We knew that there was the issue of financial fair play, and the relationship with the president has always been very good. instead of getting paid what we had to get paid that year, we would transfer it to that second, third, or fourth year so that Nate could come in. If that was the problem, we'll want to go hand in hand with the club in the end. If we can help so that the club doesn't have this problem, it wasn't an issue. I first want to say that I appreciate Pique being honest. Like, that's one of the things that you can always never criticize Pique about. Like, whether he's right or wrong, he's always honest. He's always saying what he thinks. He's not about being political correct. Like, he's always going to be saying what he thinks, and that is something to be respected, because there should be more people taking that matter into more important hands than world football. But in this sense, I appreciate that you say it out loud, Pique, but this only reinforced more the fact that the players do have a lot of power in the dressing room, and although they don't take 100% of the decisions of the dress, what happens in the club, they are very influential, and they can, because they know they have the power. They know that they're the ones that that the supporters love, that they were have all the votes at the end of the day. And if the presidency wants to keep themselves, because basically, let's look at it at a point of view from Bartomeu. I want my kind of idealism to win. The next president that comes along, I want him to be my line to be the continuous president line for Barcelona. And if we don't listen to the players, and if we decide to change these players around and do the full revamp of the squad, and it doesn't go well, and we're not successful, then they're gonna change to someone else. And that's why I think Laporta was very brave at his time, because he didn't have an easy decision. At the time, it wasn't popular to have Pep Guardiola as the manager. Right now we can say, yes, he was destined to be. No, he wasn't destined to be. Pep Guardiola had it all against him, because first of all, we had a kind of mentality, thanks to Rosell, that first we wanted to bring in Scolari as a Barcelona manager, and then we were bringing Mourinho, and we would know how that would have worked out. It would have been horrendous. Thanks we didn't do that. Laporta trusted in Cruyff, who trusted consequently on Pep Guardiola, and we had that successful title that we're still bearing the fruits from that today. Because we're still with Pep Guardiola's cycle, because the Messis, the Busquets, the Piques of this team are still here. They're still here, and unfortunately for me, we need to change things around. Because them, first of all, they're not saying that they're not going to get paid, that they're going to give up their wages to sign Neymar. That's not it. They're saying that they're just going to delay them. So therefore, we're still paying, a massive amount of money to Neymar, and we still have to pay those players their wages, just delay them. And they're going to receive it later, like he said, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, they're still going to receive that money. Therefore, we're still in a financial problem. That doesn't solve anything. It's a huge issue. It's for me the antithesis that we need to change things around. For me, I've said it time and time again, Pique for me seems to be the leader. At least he's the one that seems to be the main leader about doing things that we're doing right now, going ahead and signing Neymar. For example, to everyone that was saying that Neymar would have been a great signing last season, and let's forget that he's a great player. He's an amazing player. Obviously, he is. But let me tell you what would have happened exactly this season by this point if we would have signed Neymar. We would not know who Ansu Fati is, or you know what I mean. The most popular people around Barcelona would not know who Ansu Fati is, because he wouldn't have been given a chance by Ernesto Valverde. And we know who Ansu Fati is because we have all these kind of injuries that allow us to see who Ansu Fati is. Otherwise, Valverde would have never made Ansu Fati debut with the first team, or at least not participate a lot in the first team as he's done currently right now. We would have a problem right now that we would have a front three right now designated to be Messi, Suarez, and Neymar. And why do they say that's a problem? Because you would have someone like Griezmann, who is probably not playing a lot of minutes, and Dembele, who's straight up no play. He's probably getting the same amount of minutes that Carlos Perez has gotten this season, which is next to none, because he disappeared from the lineups in the past couple weeks. So is that a problem? Yes, because you basically have Griezmann and Dembele as investment not utilized, unhappy with their minutes, and not progressing at all, and not adapting to the squad that they should. You have an aging Suarez that's not getting any better or any faster. Neymar, who it's, well, prop to injuries that we've seen last couple of times. And Messi, who, yes, he's still the best player in the world. But the best player in the world, as we know, can only carry you around so much without a proper project that's behind them. We wouldn't know how Ansu Fati is. Carlos Perez will be in the B team, not have any opportunity to participate. And is that what we want? Is that the philosophy of our club? Are we the club that's gonna be known for signing superstars and not trusting in our youth system? Like, we want trophies now. We only think short term, and we are fine with sacking managers every other season just to keep winning trophies short term. But eventually, when we have to do a full revamp of the squad, we have to do an emergency revamp with a coach with no experience, with players that could be good, but you don't know because you had never have given them an opportunity. And that's basically what happened with Chelsea right now. Like, if we keep going at this rate, we could possibly beat Chelsea, because that's the mentality that Chelsea have had. And yes, they've been successful here or there, and I'm sure that if they had the quality players that Barcelona had, they would have challenged for Champions League trophies. It's just that they haven't had those quite like amazing kind of players, and their managers have been very good in the league. But is that the mentality that you want? Like, hey, let's not ever think that we can have a long-term project because we only won trophies now. And in my opinion, that's the wrong mentality. We need to think about long-term. Yes, short-term success is important. Obviously, I want us to challenge for the trophies all years, but this squad is perfectly capable of challenging for trophies all year. Last season's squad was perfectly capable of challenging for trophies last year. And we don't need Neymar. I'm gonna put it up here. We don't even need Usman Dembele. Like, I think that if worst comes to come, I will still wait for Mbappe, and I will give Ansu Fati and Carlos Perez a promotion to the first team to have a forward line of Suarez, Griezmann, Messi. Then in 2021, go ahead and try to sign Mbappe, if not the next year when he has 1 year remaining on his contract. And we have all the perfect qualities to do so. The problem is we don't seem to want to do things the proper way. We're a team that has lost all sense in what needs to be done properly. Like, the board is at fault, yes. The board is at a lot of fault. Valverde, it's at a point where it's not easy for him. Like, if you were in this situation, what would you do? Like, you basically can't talk to the players because they will do what they did to Luis Enrique and getting sacked. Or not sacked, but put him in a position where he's not going to coach more this team because he knows that he cannot take this team any further. Because they're not going to listen to him. They're not. If you pressure them too much, they're going to make you get sacked, like we've seen other coaches lately. And it's just not what you need. It's not a team that is capable of doing things the proper way, and it's just hurting them in the long term. Basically, what I'm saying is that this kind of thing shouldn't be happening. Barcelona have players to be better, to play better, and therefore we need to do so. When we inevitably, because I'm already saying it here, I heavily doubt that we can win the Champions League trophy unless things change and unless we understand that we all need to go up for one. We won't win the Champions League. The league maybe, the Copa del Rey maybe, but the Champions League definitely not, because there are other teams more motivated than us that are working better than us, and for the most part that should be able to get them over the line instead of us. And unless we can do things the proper way, we're not winning the trophy. And at the end of the season, and this is regarding what trophies we win, whether we win the treble or we win nothing, the result will be the same. I'll be saying what things I would do to the squad, and if worst comes to worst, depending on how bad I see it, it'll determine who goes and who stays. Because I'm telling you right now, this for free, and a heads up of what's gonna happen. If worst comes to worst, I would not change my mind that even the best player in the world will leave this team if it means that we can do a complete change if that comes to worse. But hasn't happened yet. I don't want to think about Lionel Messi leaving this team, and it's not something that I think should necessarily happen. That's just the worst case scenario. But with that said and done, leave me your opinions on this topic. What do you think about this, what Pique said about what the no pass to Griezmann means for Barcelona? Leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Blaugranas.